Tres. Hello everybody, my name is Lina Maria Baraja Ramirez. I going to interview English teacher Zoe. She is nationally German. Okay, Zoe, this is a first question. How do you bilingualism policies in Colombia address educational inequalities between different regions of the country? And what measures could be implemented to improve their effectiveness?
I think in Colombia there are very good bilingualism policies. Also, that every student has access in different parts of Colombia to learn and study English. Matter of fact is that still, because of in theory there are good policies, there is still a lack of English knowledge in every part of Colombia, and even in some parts it's more worse than in other parts. So this could be improved by the government to include more and get more fundamental resources in every part of Colombia.
Okay, thank you very much, Joy. The next question is how are the basic rights to learn English being warranted for all students, especially in rural and disadvantaged contexts?
It is provided very good because in every region, like I already said, every student has access to learn English just because of school. And this is in theory very good because every student has the right to learn English, and but it depends on every person how they improve their English. So it depends of what surrounding they're in, it depends of the teacher, it depends on the school, it depends on the family that they come from. So the English skill at the end is very different from each student.
Yes, in Colombia, the English, the learn of English is, I think, is very bad because different reasons. Una de ellas is many people don't have ingress, some money,
Yes.
and okay, this is
Yes.
okay. And the next question is, what are the main shortcomings in the suggest English curriculum for grades 6 or 11, and how could educational institutions adapt it to better meet the students' needs?
Yes, I think the most shortcoming is learning how to use the language in daily life. Because the students go into school, they learn the grammar, they learn all the roots and everything, and they know how actually it functions, how's the function, but they can't express themselves because they did not learn how to use the language. So this could be improved by not only focusing on grammar and more focusing on how to use the language, because in daily life you don't need that much of grammar. You need to speak a language, you need to communicate, and this could be better.
It is more important because in the English introduced in daily life, it is better your learning. Okay. What role do cutting-edge technologies play in English language teaching in Colombia? And how can these tools be used to foster more inclusive and accessible learning?
In general, technology can be very helpful because while studying with the students, you can use videos, you can use music, you can use text from online, everything can be very useful. But I think it always depends on which region. Because, for example, sometimes Wi-Fi isn't working. Sometimes the technology that is in the school doesn't even function. So I think before starting with that high of technology, maybe more focusing on the basics before doing something that is not capable for some schools.
Okay, thank you, Zoe. How are teaching strategies for students with special needs being integrated into the English curriculum, and what barriers persist in their implementation?
I think how they function with students with special needs in Colombia is not that good, because you can't treat every student equally, and that is a big problem. That means when you have students with special needs and you put them into a class where everybody's more capable of learning, they have it more easier, or they're even less likely to have a bad mood or something and can easier learn things, you can put people who need a special treatment or need to reinforce English more in a class with people who have it easier. Because when you try to educate everyone in the same way, you're either going to make it easier for the ones who need a higher standard, or you're going to make it very hard for the ones who need special treatment. And for that, I think it is very bad to put students with special needs in the same class as students who have it easier to learn.
Okay, Zoe. What evidence exists in the impact of bilingualism policies on the academic performance of Colombian students, and what is adjustments will be necessary to improve these results?
I think it has a big impact of the surrounding. So, like I already said before, for every student, it's not only necessary to be in school. Your surrounding is very important. What is the surrounding of your friends? What is the surrounding of your family? Is your family educated? Is your family not educated? Do you have to do things at home? Do you don't have things to do at home? So an adjustment would be that you focus more on the person itself rather than a group. Because I think in Colombia it's more like teachers and schools are thinking of a group, but every person is individual and has their own backstory. But I think it's very hard to focus on that when you have classes that are so big. For example, here in the school, the class has a minimum of 30 people with one teacher. And one teacher can't focus on 30 people at the same time. And that is very hard. And I think it would be more useful to make tinier classes, which of course needs more teachers. And I think you gotta first make the surrounding good before thinking of what could we improve more on the side of the students.
Okay, this is important because I think some things. In Colombian, the education in English education is very bad because the groups is o sea, is very big, are very big,
Yes, very big.
and the learning is more difficult.
Yes.
And how are in Colombian teachers being prepared to face the challenge of bilingualism, and what additional resources do they need to be more effective at teaching English?
I personally think that English teachers, especially in Colombia, are not prepared that good. Because they come out of university, they know how the language should function, but they cannot use it that well. And I think you could improve that by making a part while being in university, where you have to be half a year, some month, you have to go abroad. There are so many countries and there they speak English, and there you have contact to really use the language in daily life. And then you learn how the language functions, how do you use it. For example, Canada, United States, England, New Zealand, Australia, there's so many countries where you can learn how to speak the language. And this could be improved by a part by your university where you have to go abroad.
Okay, yes, in my case, my learning English in high school was very bad because I don't have a teacher good or good teacher English, and this is my progress in the languages is a few, and my learning as has is auto learning.
Yes.
And no more. So the last one, how can a more inclusive education be promoted for students with different languages and learning abilities within the context of bilingualism in Colombia?
I think in that question goes everything in what I already said. So the most important is, of course, that the teachers get a better education, a better know-how. Then, of course, that the base in schools, that the classes are tinier, you focus more on individuality, is given. The next, that you reinforce in students how to use the language properly and not only focusing on grammar. So I think all the questions that we already went through are going into the last question together and what they should focus on to improve that.
Okay, thank you so very much. Bye bye.